Welcome to the Dice Tower, a series of video reviews about board and card games. Here are your hosts, Tom Vassell and Sam Healy.
Alright, Article 27 is a brand new game from Stronghold Games, which is basically centered on the Security Council of the United Nations, in which each of the different people are pushing forth agendas, but they have a secret agenda. Maybe they want more power, maybe they want more money, and they're trying to get their agenda passed, especially when they are the Secretary of the General Secretary of the United Nations. They can get that prestige. Let me show you how the game works, and then we'll come back. Well, here's the main board for this game. This is the Security Council room, and there's going to be different issues. There's going to be one of these discs here for each player involved in the game, and each of these issues has to do with something. Like, for example, this is a peacekeeping mission. These are trade sanctions. This is diplomatic sanctions, humanitarian concerns, and nuclear non-proliferation. These are humanitarian concerns. And so you'll be able to take these issues up, and this game is going to last one round per player. Now, before we go any farther, we need to stop and look at the awesomeness of this. Okay? See that? That's a gavel. That comes in the game. Let's take a moment just to let that sink in. Isn't that cool? If for nothing else, there's a gavel in the game. Woohoo! Okay, anyhow, back to here. Each player is going to get their own player board. And this player board has some area that's going to be kept hidden. This is where you're going to keep the different amount of influence that you get over the course of the game. Influence is basically points. You'll start with 12 of those. And then you're going to have a shield that's going to fit into the board. So it will fit just like this on the board. And I'm not going to put the shield up over the course of this game because I want to show you guys what's behind the shield. But each shield shows what country you're from. It shows a caricature of that country. And if you're afraid that it mocks the different countries, I'm afraid you're correct. But to be fair, it seems to mock them all equally. We couldn't figure out who the person representing the United States is. Someone said it was a cross between Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton, and maybe that is correct. I don't know. But anyhow, you're going to pick one of those countries, and your country doesn't really matter. What matters is you're going to get the secret disc, and this is going to tell you your secret goal for the game. Maybe it's technology. You're trying to get as much technology as you can. Maybe you're somebody who's all for fair trade, or maybe you simply want power. Okay, so get one of those over the course of the game. Now, for each round, one person is the Secretary General, which means they get this hammer. Woohoo! You win. Okay, no, you don't win. But you're going to be the one who's in charge of what goes on the board this turn. The Secretary General is going to turn over one token from each of these tables. And he's going to put it here. It's on the tables. And these tokens have different icons that match people's secret goal. You can see here, for example, that the red one is trade, while the black one there has a hat on it, which stands for prestige. And the yellow one, which this is kind of a bad thing about the game. It's hard to see the icons in the yellow one, but I mean, you just have to tell everybody the yellow one's a hat. Okay, so now the Secretary General is going to decide which of these issues that will stay tabled and which of these we're going to vote on. So maybe he says we're going to vote on green and black. But before he does this, each player is going to reach into the bag. Now, when you reach into the bag, you are going to reach into the bag one at a time, and you're going to pull out 5 chips that you're going to put behind your shield. These chips are going to match the different colors on the board. So there's red, black, red, yellow, and green. This means if red passes, I'm going to get 6 respect. If black passes, I'm going to get 3 respect. If green passes, I'm going to lose 4 respect. And if yellow passes, I'm going to lose 2 respect. So I look at the board, and right now it's black and green, which means I will lose 1 respect. Get 3 for black and lose 4 for green. Lose 1 respect. Now a 2-minute which is timed by a timer, a 2-minute negotiation period will begin. And players are going to try to convince other people of what they want to do. Now this 2-minute, did I say 2-minute? 5-minute negotiation is going to begin. This 5-minute negotiation can be broken by the Secretary General. He can say it's time to vote at any time. But before he votes, people are going to start trying to bribe others. This is done on player boards. Each player is going to have a bunch of icons that match their world leaders. Okay, that match their world leaders. And what you'll do is, let's say you're the Secretary General, and I would prefer that green come off the table. So I say to you, look, I'll give you 5 respect if you take green off the table. You say, that sounds good. So I put that there, and then we go over here, and you take green back off the table. Oh, that's great. And then you say, someone else says, no, wait a minute, I'll give you 6 if you put green back on the table. Someone else says, I want red at it. Someone else says, I want black off. Meanwhile, people are negotiating with each other. They'll say, look, I want you to vote yes on this. Or I want you to abstain from this vote. Or I want you to veto it. Or I want you to do something so complicated, it's not simple like that. I want you to put red and green both on the table. You know, there's different things. And so back and forth, players will bribe each other. Once the time runs out, or the Secretary General says, time to vote, we will go back to the middle and see what's in the middle. So let's say red, green, and yellow are now in the middle, or red, black, and yellow. Now everybody votes. Everybody has a regular token, a yes token, and a veto token. Everyone's going to vote, basically putting their fist out and revealing it. If the majority of people vote yes, it will pass. If you wish to vote no, you basically put nothing and you abstain. Because if you veto it, it will cancel it. Doesn't matter. If only one person vetoes it, it's gone. But that person will have to pay 5 respect. The Secretary General will likely not veto it because if it passes, he will get 5 respect regardless. And everybody else, let's say this one passed. I will look down at my thing here and I'll say, ooh, red, black, and yellow? Okay, so that's 8, 9, minus 2. I just got 7 respect. Huzzah! Also, everybody will collect respect for any bribes that they have honored, that they have done. So if the Secretary General did not put green in, he would get this one. If someone asked you to vote yes and you did vote yes, then you will get that bribe. If you didn't, the bribes go back. But then we're going to take a look at which one of these passed and didn't pass. So for example, here 2 hats passed. So we're going to put them here in the hat column. They've passed. And this trade one passed. The peace one did not pass, so we're going to put that over here. And this green trade one didn't pass, so we'll put that in this column. And as the game progresses, these columns are going to fill up from the left if they pass and from the right if they don't pass. At the end of the game, after 6 rounds, you will see whichever one you are. So let's say the game ended and I am this prestige guy here, trying to get points for that. And I have 4 of them that went through and 1 didn't. I'm going to get an additional 10 respect. After 6 turns, whoever has the most respect is the winner. There's a few variants that you can add into the game where you can lie about things that you do and people can call you on that. But that's basically how the regular game works. Now this isn't a very long game. Well, I mean, it can be longer, but I mean, we're talking an hour max. And it can be certainly shorter than that if you want it to be. It all depends when the gavel is picked down. And you have to admit, before we get into any maybe disagreement over the game, you have to admit that that gavel is a really cool piece.
Yes.
Okay? So right there we agree.
The gavel is cool.
We should end the review now, but
no, we shouldn't.
Here's the deal. I love negotiation games. That's probably in my top. It's just something that I absolutely adore. And this game is almost pure negotiation with secret knowledge that you know. There's a lot of back and forth, and I really think that people who are good at convincing other people to do things can have a good chance at this game to do well. That being said, there's quite a few hidden agendas all over the place, so you're really never sure what anyone's really thinking.
Yeah, the little information that the secret information that you know, isn't enough. Because there is so much other variable information that you don't know that can just absolutely tank any plans that you have. So the whole idea of having a little bit of information to go on really doesn't do you much good.
Well, I'm not sure. I like during the game, I was able to peg most people with their agendas, except Sam. I didn't peg him, which was odd.
Until I told him what it was. Because at that point, it really didn't matter.
But I do. I have to admit, I really enjoyed this game. I really liked everything that goes on. I like the freewheeling back and forth. I do think, though, that there is most definitely a one-game learning curve, because when you're first playing with all these bribes flying in all different directions, you're really not going to know how much to bribe everybody. I mean, you might, I'll bribe 6. Well, why are you bribing 6? Well, if this happens, I'll get 7 points. I'll come out 1 point ahead. Okay, well, maybe you should have only bribed 3 then, so that you come out more points ahead. Or you should also think that maybe you're helping someone else accomplish their agenda. There's a lot of things going back and forth, and I think bidding high almost pushes the game a little too it can kind of make the game a little wonky, that someone with crazy with bribing skills can actually ruin the game. Because they'll be like, hey, Sam, I'll give you 15 if you do this. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And everyone else is like, what are you doing? And he's happy because he just got 15.
Yeah.
Or you can be up there and no one bribes you at all because they don't want anything at all at that point in time. Okay. But regardless of that, I still like it. Now, for the Minority Report.
Minority Report?
The opposition party response?
Yes, something like that. Well, really, there's too much chaos going on for my taste. There's not enough valuable information as far as you can, because the part that I really had trouble stomaching was the 5 chips that you had to draw from the bag, and then set them in order from +4, +3, +1, -2, -4. You had to put them in order there, and sometimes what you drew just totally went against what you were actually wanting to accomplish. Sometimes what you had, you would be getting negative points for the same ones that you're getting bonus points for. It just didn't make sense to me. That part of the game, I almost think that if that's gone and you just kind of focus on your main agenda, it would be more enjoyable to me that way. Because that threw another level mechanic in that I think was just a pure chaotic mechanism to just kind of throw everybody into a tailspin. And the person who can control their tailspin better is the one that comes out on top.
You know, I'm not actually disagreeing with your kind of overview of the game, but despite all that, I thought there's more control than you think, and we're going to disagree on the amount of control. I just thought it was really cool how everything went down like that. I love real-time negotiation, and I do like the fact that it does end at a certain point.
Yeah.
That being said, I 100% think that this is a game for a very particular gaming group. I think if you like Cosmic Encounter, you will be inclined to like this, but that doesn't mean you will.
No.
If you like games where there's a lot of negotiation, I think, again, that you will be inclined to like this, but it doesn't mean you will. Really, the only way to know is to really try it out for yourself. But it's not that long of a game. So it's not like it was going to, you're playing a 3-hour game and 10 minutes in, you know you don't like it. So I'm going to give this one 2 gavels up because I really did enjoy it that much. I'm not very good at these sorts of things. I'm trying to get better at them, but I had a blast with everything that was going on.
Well, I'm almost the antithesis of that. I'm not going to give it 2 thumbs down because I do think that there is some redeeming quality to the game, and really that one mechanic is the only one that kind of soured it for me. Another thing that I noticed is if you go first, especially in a learning game, you're going to get nailed because this is what happened in our game. I was the first security because I had to be, because I was the first person. No, seriously.
Well, stop giving public speeches then, sir.
I'm a teacher. I give public speeches 5 times a day. 5 times a week. So I had to go first. I didn't have a choice. I guess we could have randomly done it, but we were sticking to what the game said, so we did. And so everybody's stingy on my round because they don't understand this whole bidding mechanic yet. So I get like next to nothing as far as bids are concerned. It goes to the next person. The guy walks away with like 25 something as far as bidding points because people just went nutso with the bidding. And they continue to do that.
Well, I'm going to say, I think there's really a learning curve to this game. I think it's not a one.
Yeah.
It's not a first-time game, because after the first game's over, you're like, okay, look, let's play things differently next time. And really, I think how you do on your turn as Secretary General absolutely decides whether you win the game or not.
But see, even that's kind of a misnomer, because it's not really controlled on how you do.
Okay, well, I'm saying
It's
how
how
well
everybody else does on your turn.
So your goal is to make everyone else's Secretary General time just stink.
And that's nigh impossible.
All right. Well, like I said, folks, well, we certainly disagree on this one, but I think even though I do like it and I love the theme of it, I think it's a cool theme that's not done very much. This is certainly one that you're going to want to try before you buy, because I can really see this turning off some people. In fact,
Absolutely.
okay, I've seen it turn off people.
Yes.
But I'd say other people enjoy it quite a bit, because some people just thrive on this environment.
Right. I'm not opposed to playing the game again. Please understand that. It's not that bad. However, if I see the same trend happening the second time and maybe the third time, yeah, no more. Because you'll get 3 strikes and then you're out, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to give this 1 down.
All right, 2 up from me. Article 27.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find the latest board game news at Dicetowernews.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Fun Again Games, the world's best game source. Fun Again Games has over 5,000 games available. Check them out at funagain.com.